What is an enzyme and what is its function? This is an enzyme. An enzyme is a protein. This is an enzyme's active site. This is a substrate. The substrate itself is very slow in its chemical reaction. The enzyme helps the substrate's chemical reaction go faster, just like a gentleman helping an elderly woman cross the road. Why? Well, because if the chemical reaction is not done at a certain speed, the substrate would die. Just like the elderly woman crossing the road, if she is not fast enough, she will crash with a car and die. How? The enzyme speeds up the process of the substrate by cuddling each other, and then the substrate is broken down into two parts. And now it is in two parts, it is easier for the substrate to do its chemical reaction. There are two ways in which enzymes and substrate interlock with each other. The first one is the lock and key method, and the second one is induced fit. Let's first take a look at the lock and key method. In this method, the enzyme and substrate can perfectly interlock with each other. As you can see on the whiteboard, this is the enzyme, and here comes the substrate, and they can perfectly interlock with each other, as you can see here. And after that, the substrate is broken down into two parts, and now the substrate can do its chemical reaction way quicker, and it will not die, which is very nice. The second way in which enzymes and substrate can interlock with each other is induced fit. In this situation, the enzymes and the substrate cannot perfectly interlock with each other, so the enzymes change shape in order to interlock with each other. This is the enzyme. Here comes the substrate again, and as you can see, they cannot fit together because the shapes are not correct. In order to still interlock with each other, the enzyme changes shape and they can fit together. As you can see here, they interlock with each other, and the substrate is broken down into two parts, and now the chemical reaction can be done way quicker. What affects this? The first thing that affects this is the temperature, the second thing is the pH level, and the third thing is the number of substrates. Let's first take a look at the temperature. In this graph you can see how good the enzymes work at a certain temperature. As you can see, at your body temperature, 37 degrees Celsius, they work very well. But if you get sick, for example, your body temperature will be way higher, and this is very dangerous because if your body temperature is a lot higher, there's a chance that your enzymes will die because they cannot live in that certain temperature. Now let's take a look at the pH. Let's take a look at this graph. As you can see, most enzymes work best at a pH value of 7, which is very good because most of our body is around that pH level. But in my stomach we have a way lower pH level, so in order to still have enzymes there, we have a special enzyme which is called the pepsin, which works the best at a pH level of 2. The last thing that affects the speed of enzymes is the number of substances. Let's take a look at this graph. If you have a very low number of substances, the speed of the enzymes will be very low because there is nothing much to react with. And if you have a middle number of substances, the speed will also be middle because there is a middle amount of substance to react with, and yeah, the enzymes react with the middle amount of substance, and then the speed will be middle. But at a certain point of number of substance, all enzymes will be occupied, and yeah, the enzymes cannot react with all the substance, so that means that the speed will be very slow for the amount of substance. This was my video, thank you for watching, bye.